UFC 249 has officially been canceled. Brett Okamoto tweeted breaking. UFC 249 has been canceled. All UFC events postponed indefinitely due to COVID-19. Dana White says he was ready to promote the event, but things were taken out of his control. Much more on this to come. We're going to be posting more videos on this situation as we get more information. Make sure you subscribe to Full Mount MMA with notifications turned on to get updated. Cody Garbrandt, in a recent interview with Brett Okamoto, spoke on moving down to the flyweight division.
I never really cut weight, even at 35. I'm looking at going to 25. You know, that's what I want to go do. I'm young. I can do it. Like, I walk around 145 pounds. You know, I think I got down to, sometimes after sparring sessions, 42, 43. You know, I'm still strong, fast for my weight. I can keep that at 25. So that's a plan at school. Me and Ali we spoke about doing this. You know, first we were focused on Rafael, and that's still the fight to make and the fight to fight next. And then, you know, go down and really save the flyweight division. You know, Henry wanted to leave, and he's up to 35. So, you know, I'll go down to 25 and just, you know, resume there. And they got a lot of talent there, and I can bounce back and forth. You know, as I'm, you know, my career unfolds as I get older. You know, maybe packing a little bit of the weight, but yeah, 25 is looking in my future flyweight. But, you know, I have an unfinished business at bantamweight, and we'll kind of see how it goes. You know, we're kind of all in like a limbo stage right now. What's going to go on, when we're going to fight again. For me, I'm healthy now. I'm back to training, and I just invested a whole fight camp into myself. I put 10 weeks in out there and here in Sacramento. You know what I mean? I'm one fight away. I'm the biggest draw in the division, no matter what division, man, the flyweight or bantamweight, and that's just rightfully speaking. So I would love to be able to go down and balance the 25 and the 35. I mean, I've always wanted to do that.
Henry Cejudo posted this to his Twitter. He wrote, "I own that weight class too. Nowhere to hide, Cody no love. Hashtag bend the knee." Cody responded back saying, "We will see you. If you are calling the shots and picking your fights, then I'll see you soon. We all know when you're the champ, you call the shots. No easy way out for you at any weight class." Henry Cejudo responded back saying, "Did Ali write that for you?" Cody replied saying, "We all know Ali Abdelaziz bends you over both of his knees." Henry ended it off with, "Cody garbage, you are funny." Darren Till, in a recent interview, speaks on fighter pay. He said that the UFC and Reebok should increase the fighter pay and give fighters what they're worth. On his Instagram live Q&A, he went on to say, "Stuff between me and the UFC, like let's say stuff between me and Dana White is between me and Dana. You know, personal stuff. But this is probably one thing that I will come out and say. I do believe MMA fighters should be paid more money. I'm not talking saying millions and trillions, a billion, whatever. Just what they're worth, a nice piece of the pie. I do believe that Reebok should pay more and the UFC should pay a little more. But that's not a thing I like to talk big on, openly. I'd rather have that conversation with Dana man to man, but that's where I am with that." Dominic Cruz posts some new training footage to his Instagram. Daniel Cormier, in a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, gives his thoughts on Tony Fergsuon, saying Khabib should be stripped of his title. DC says that Khabib is not afraid of anyone.
Khabib doesn't want it. People saying he's running or he's afraid of Tony. You got as much transparency from a fighter as you will get from anybody, because you're essentially going through his thoughts with him, but he's just making them public. All the things that he would have probably said to Islam, his dad, everybody, like, tell me where to fight and I'll go. He's saying it. If he's like, well, I'm stuck here, like I can't go back. He's just saying it, right? So he's just essentially being open and honest with everybody. Like, he was very clear that he went there. He didn't have to tell that story. Telling that story that they told him he could go to Abu Dhabi and fight and then it backfired, that could make the UFC look bad, right? Because they gave him bad information. He left California on them telling him to go there. And it was like, so he's telling you things that he could have held close to the chest because he doesn't want. Khabib has a great relationship with the UFC. So it's like he was just, at every step, he was just open and honest, and maybe he shouldn't have been. But people always talk about fighters don't want to be open with him. He was open. You saw his thought process as it played out, and if it didn't work in terms of public relations on that side of things, then too bad. But you got to see him making a decision or trying to make a decision right in front of your eyes. That dude will fight Tony Fergsuon anywhere, right? Like, he'll fight him anywhere. I know Khabib. There was one time we were wrestling in the gym, and I was like, "Wrestle me." He was like, "No, you're big. I don't feel good." And I kind of clubbed him behind the neck, and I hurt his neck a little bit. He was like, "Ah, my neck," you know, like. Hey, dude got up. He was ready to fight with me. Now, the rest of the Russians all kind of circled around me, and I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't have hit him so hard. But he was like, he's not afraid of anybody. He'll fight me. He'll fight Miocic. He'll fight Jones. He will fight every guy up and down the roster. Dude is not afraid of anyone. So to say that is it's absurd. And I know that he really cares about fans. So he's probably reading those things, and hearing all that. So at every turn, he tried to explain away something that people really don't deserve. You don't like if when you're questioning a fighter, we can't try to give you comfort in your thoughts along the way. You get point A, you get point Z. Wherever we finish, you get A, you get Z. That whole journey in between, that's between the people in the middle. And I think he tried to keep everybody in the loop at every single turn, and that backfired on him.
Tyron Woodley speaks on Khabib pulling out of UFC 249. He also speaks on the potential rematch with Kamaru Usman.
I feel bad for Khabib. This is like, one time it was an injury, one time it was missing weight. This time it's something that nobody can. Hey, why you so thick? Damn, boy, you thick, boy. It's something that had nothing to do with them, man. I feel bad. I was in a similar situation where I was going to London and they didn't want me to go to London. Then they wanted Leon to come here. He didn't feel comfortable coming here. So my heart goes out to Khabib, man. I know he's probably training his ass off. And this is something that he wanted to put behind him. And he didn't get a chance to. So that's what I think about Khabib. I think this fight will happen. And maybe it's just something that's going to keep building it up for us. Fuck Corona, man. It's fucked everything up. Like, only thing I do like about the quarantine, not Corona, not the virus, not people dying, not the spread, not the, the anxiety, is I've had a chance to get back into my crib. I have a chance to clean it the right way, structure things the way I wanted, get everything organized. I had a chance to train with my son a lot, teach him how to be a man, talk to him about women, talk to him about, show him how to cook, show him how to clean, show him how to just be self-sufficient. And we had a lot of father-son time. So my son's 16. You don't turn a man when you're 18. So I had some great times with him, great times with my kids. And also sometimes to just rethink and think life and, look at your circle and look at what you're doing and see how you want to do things different. So you versus Usman, question mark. You haven't lost since 2014. Yeah, I just had a lot going on, man. A lot going on. I didn't think it was going to stop me from winning. I didn't think it was going to stop me from getting to the victory, because I had those 5 rounds mapped out, man, in my mind. I always break down my opponents really well, and I thought I just had it down. And I didn't think it was going to affect me. And even to warm up the workout, the open workout, the weight cut wasn't great, but my last few weight cuts were not great. Fighting in winter months, or training in winter months, and fighting in early spring is hard for me because my body is, I weigh 200, 205 sometimes. So this time I just made a commitment. That's why I went out to Thailand first to really get my weight down. So I did that, got my weight down, came back in the mid to low 90s, which is good for me. And I finished out a couple times in the 80s, and that was my goal. My goal was to finish in the 80s and to go into fight week 185, and I hit that mark. So it was kind of sad. I got the news on Tuesday or Wednesday that it was done, and that was shattering to me. So I cleaned my plate up, man, and I'm focused. I'm back mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's not that I want the rematch against Usman so bad. I really ain't got no smoke with Usman. He kind of corny to me, but I think that's just his personality, and I can't hate somebody for the way they are. But at the end of the day, he's a great fighter. He's very intelligent in the octagon. He wastes no position, no minutes in there. And that's the thing that I see in that. And he came out and executed, no matter if he was fighting someone that a lot of you guys see as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. No matter what I did in the past, no matter how many knockouts, no matter what my wrestling takedown defense was, he came out and executed. He didn't know what was going on in my life, and I didn't know that it would affect my performance. So at the end of the day, I don't really got smoke with him. So it's not like, oh, I want to fight him, I want to get him back. He didn't beat me, I beat me. That's just the way I think about it.
That's going to wrap it up for the news. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to Full Mount MMA on YouTube. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Khabib versus Tony being canceled again. The first one's from Watchdog X, and it says Tony should absolutely refuse to fight anyone else. He deserves a title fight more than any fighter there is. The second one's from Phoenix V, and it says that's what happens when you announce the fight in 2019 and take so damn long. And the final one says the curse is so real that when the fight seems inevitable and impossible to stop, the apocalypse arrives with the sole intent to keep the curse alive. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next video, be sure to drop a comment down below on this one.